Hi and welcome to Honest Self-Help Book Reviews. Today we are reviewing Jason Capital's book, Higher Status, and we're going to look specifically at the 5 traits of a high status voice. So please check out my other page, honestselfhelpbookreviews.com, and you'll find a lot of great value there as well as the rest of this review. So the 5 traits of a high status voice. Authoritative is the first one. So he gives us 5 traits, but I'll just talk about them quickly. The first one is authoritative. The second one is clear. The third one is unaffected. The fourth, interesting. And the fifth, breaks rapport occasionally. So we'll quickly get into number 1, authoritative. So authoritative, there's power behind the voice. You'll notice I've been practicing speaking 20% louder since I read this book. I got a tremendous amount of value from that, just understanding to speak with more authority in the voice. Now, if you think about all the list of powerful speakers throughout history, there's a power behind it. And to get power, you can't really have power by hunching your shoulders forward and having bad posture. You've got to get your shoulders back, get your neck up, and have an open posture in order to be able to give as much power and authority as you can in your voice. Okay, if you need to think about Star Trek, Captain Jean-Luc Picard, or someone like that, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Barack Obama, really authoritative power. There's a lot of power behind the voice. Clear. So getting people to speak clear is very important because it's important for people to be able to understand you. So if you want to have a high status voice, you've got to be able to speak clear. And he says you can do that by using tongue twisters, and he gives one of these examples in his book. He goes, whether the weather is hot or whether the weather is cold, we'll be together, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. Or red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, blue balloon, brown balloon, blue balloon, brown balloon. You can use those tongue twisters to help you get clarity in your voice. Actors use this a lot in their training and professional speakers. So just learning how to speak clear is another aspect of having high status voice. Unaffected. So having an unaffected voice shows that people unconsciously adapt to each other's voice tones. So when 2 or more people meet, they unconsciously find itself. One speaks higher, one speaks lower. They'll find a middle ground because it's unconsciously seeking rapport. But what Jason Capital says with his book is that you want to be able to just keep your power, your authority, your clarity unaffected. The way you speak, you want to keep it unaffected. So regardless of the slang, the culture of the people you're talking to, you are continuing to speak in the tone, the vocal tone of who you are, but because that gives you high status and separates you obviously from the crowd. Number 4 is interesting. You've got to, keeping the same authority as a high status person, you've got to vary your pitch, your speed in order to keep people engaged. This, making it in a sing-song tone or speaking really fast and then speaking really slow, but still keeping that authority, clarity, and unaffectedness, but making it interesting and animated for people to listen to. Because when you start talking in that droning voice like that, have you ever heard someone talk like that? You immediately start daydreaming and thinking about what you've got to do, and you try and get away from that conversation as quick as possible. So high status, interesting voice. Number 5, breaks rapport occasionally. So he says that it's a shock trick that he uses. In the middle of a conversation, he just yells loudly in a fun way for a second. So say, for example, he goes, yeah, and I was watching the game and I was like, wow, what an awesome game. And it's like, and I was talking to my friend, I said, hey, and so things like that, breaking rapport. It shocks people out of that trance, that reverie that people can get into. They can get sort of daydreaming when you're in a conversation. Maybe you're networking or you're talking to someone for the first time or at a bar or whatever it is. And when you break rapport intentionally and occasionally, it gets the attention of the people that you're talking to. This has been a rather rapid review, rapid review. Oh, actually, quickly, just one more tip. He says, practice turning the volume up on your voice by 20%. So practice turning the volume up on your voice by 20%. So 3 times a day, practice reading a normal page of writing at a volume 20% higher than your normal voice, morning, noon, and night. It says to do that for a week and then to do it, once a week after that. But I've been doing that and I found, I lost a lot of status in my voice over the years because I've been unconsciously trying to seek rapport with the environment around me, which was definitely a low status voice. So the more you practice, the more it becomes natural until one day you wake up and being high status is your natural state. So thank you for this. This is Honest Self-Help Book Reviews. The book, Jason Capital, High Status. You can find out more about the book on my webpage, honestselfreviews.com. Please, if you really like this video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. We'll be having more great honest self-help book reviews coming for you. It's a great book, Jason Capital, and if you want to buy the book, you can find the links under this video or on my webpage. So thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. This is honestselfhelpbookreviews.com.